Here we go, it's Bodjabart here again for another episode. Something different again. One of the young fellas has been unable to finish his project at school. So I said I'd finish it up for him, which is mainly axles, metal work that they can't do at school. So this is just a little push cart. We've got some old lawnmower wheels, they're just plastic, but that'll get him going for now. And maybe later on down the track he can do himself some other wheels. But this is it. I showed them what to do and I gave them the wood and had it all cut for them to put it together. And it looks like they've made a few mistakes. There's a one in here that's in the wrong place. And when I put this in here and had a look at this part, there's a piece of wood in here which it's meant to be straight with this piece, and at one end it measures 46 mil and at the other end it measures 54 mil. So I don't know what they've done. Well, I know what they've done. They've put it in not straight. And of course all these young fellas, when they get on their projects, they're all what you say, rip, bleep and bust. Yeah, and then worry about the consequences later. So it looks like old Bodger here is going to have to fix it up for them. Right, starting with fixing this bottom piece up for a start. So we put some stuff up out the road. Get these wheels out the road. Okie doke. Plus these axles. These axles are just off old lawnmowers. I managed to have a few floating around when I pull them to bits with the kids. And so we'll just adapt these to fit this. We may have to do some work on the lathe, or we may not. I did find these bolts that I'd cut down, which do fit in one of them, so that's alright. So let's see what we got to do first. First things first, we'll get this piece of wood out of here. Looks like they've got 3 nails in here and 1 on each end, which is going to make it hard to get it out. I'll probably end up ruining it. This is young Adam Martin's thing. With a little bit of help from one of his friends, young Jack. And between the two of them, they've mucked it up. I've got this piece running down the middle as well, and I did say to have it on the smooth side so it all looked the same, but of course it's not my project, it's their project, so, and it's what they decide to do. Right, we've done that. So I've got that out the road, put those nails in, no, we might use them, put them up there. Rightio. I'm missing a piece at the end here as well, which to hold this in shape, so I've got some screws, extra screws for there. Rightio. Flip this over and get this, I might fix that too, they've made a mess of that. Right, we flip this over. This is just a basic wooden cart. Right, this piece here is meant to be down here, across here, to help support this. They're a little bit wiggly, even here, so, I mean, they've put enough screws in it. Okay. I didn't have a square drive unit, so there should be one here. We're back. I found one, square drive. Put the square headed screws. Get this off. At least it looked like they put it in the right place. I told them to put it there, they've just put it back a bit too far. See how many screws they put in at one. I don't think I told him to put this. No, I didn't. 1, 2. Straight. 3. 4. 5. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here we go. I suppose wasn't going anywhere. Bit overkill, boys. But right, so it's meant to go from that point to this point on the other side. That's where it's meant to be. Okay. So we'll get these screws back in. Alrighty, put one in there. That's not good. No, that's no good. I'll have to clamp it down. Just go and get some clamps. I'll be back. Right, that's that part of it fixed up. Let's go back over there. That helps with that there, it's not as movable now. We might put a screw. So before that moved a little bit in there, now it doesn't move too much. We will put a screw through there on this sort of angle through here to help, a big long screw. We probably don't need it, but they've got one, in this wee piece of wood here, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screws. It probably could have done with maybe 5. One there, one there, one there, one there, and one in the middle. That would have been enough. But they've got 12. I can't believe that. Okay, so now we're going to put a screw in there to hold this in place. We might even put a block on the inside yet, we're not sure. I think the backrest will hold it in place. So I need to find a... I've got some skinny... Nope, wrong. Here we go. Yep. Right, so that's that. Next thing is, I'll leave that there. So we'll have to work out the... We're not worried about the backrest, we can do that last. So next thing will be the axles and trying to sort that out. Okie doke, we're back. I was hoping not to use the lathe, but it looks like I'm going to have to. I found this here, bit of metal, it's 12mm, it's come out of an old, that's what it was, I've cut one end off it, you see. And it's, oh you see that's longer, but it's come out of a an old laminator. So that's alright, so these are quite handy, these bits. So I've got to turn a little bit down 10mm, down to 8. So I've got to turn it down 10mm in length, as well as put an 8. So I've got to turn it down to 8mm to make a 8mm thread to put these on. Remember these things? Where'd the other nut go? Oh, it's over there. Right, so let's get in and do that. And I'll move yours over to the lathe. Okay, here we are, we're back, and we're gonna turn this piece of metal down. Okay, we're pretty much done, and my battery's flat with the front axles now. So we've got one to go on this side, which we'll weld in there like that. Oh, down there, like that. And the other one on the other side, which we've got in here. And it will go on there like that as well, and we'll just weld straight across there. Just straight across where the two gaps are. So we'll set this all up. And then we've got to put a plate at that end there, just in the... It's a bit hard when I've got one hand not free, so we'll put a plate just down there so it'll bolt down onto there. down there, hopefully. So I'll come back when I've got that all set up, and we'll catch you later. Hey there, we're back. It's the next day. I've come back and I've done a little bit of work on it. I'll show you what we've done. So we've got the front axle here. Okay, and I've welded it up here with this little bit of a plate on it, just there, to screw it to the front of this thing here. And then we've welded the little wee sort of stubby axle thing on here, just here and here, welded that on. So it all looked good, and I've come in here to mount it on, and I have to make some saddles just to go over here to hold it down. And I've come to screw this on, and I've made a mistake. But that's all right, it's nothing that can't be fixed. I made this so that we'd have a guide. Just in here there's a little lip, and it was going to sit in there like that. But as you look, the lip sits below. And so, when you put it on the bolt, at the right height here, it won't fit properly. So yeah, so that's meant to go over there like that. And as you can see, we'll get this in the right place. Put that down there. Yep, there we go. That down there. It doesn't sit properly. See there? It makes it sit up. There's a bit of a gap just here. So what I have to do is take that off and cut it so that the axle sits down. So I've got to cut that little lip off it down there. So the axle sits down and we can put some saddles, otherwise it won't turn, it'll get jammed on here. So I'll take that away and cut that off, then we'll screw this down and make a couple of saddles up, and that'll be the front done, hopefully. So I'll duck away and do that now, and then after we've got this mounted or made the saddles, we'll get onto the back axle. Hopefully that'll go a bit better. But hey, this is fun and games when you're building things like this, one-offs, and you think you've done the things happen. So we'll duck away and do that, and I'll catch you later. Okay, here we are, we're back. We've done that, we've cut that little lip off there. It should fit better. I think it's going to go here. Yeah. There we go. Alright, that's it here. It's a little bit tight, they'll wear in, I think. They'll probably wear in, that's not too bad. Right, so there's a gap there now. So what we'll do is, I think we'll screw that into place. So I had a couple of screws here somewhere, here they are. Just screw that in there. Okay. Okay. Yep. Right. That's things. That a little bit tight. Something's happened. Oh, it looks like something's moved. That's gone a wee bit tight. You could just loosen off the nut there, which might help. I mean, that defeats. So when I screwed it in, it must have moved that way a little bit, tightened up on there. So I don't think I brought the spanner with me. No, I didn't. All right. I'll need the spanner to undo it anyway. Right, I'll duck away and grab the spanner. Can't have that tight like that. Right. Because we have a nylock nut on here, it probably will stay on. So we shall just loosen it off a bit. There we go. There we go, that's all it took. That'll be fine. Right. Just in case so it doesn't flip up, we're going to make some little saddle things, just things that go over here, and we can put screws on each side, just here. So we'll go away into the other part and do that. We might as well mount this now because this is ready to be mounted. So we have a bolt here, which is called carriage bolt, coach bolt, something like that. They're called. I have a piece of plastic here, which just came off an old desk lid. That's for the, we've got the dropsies today. That's for, so then that sits on there. I'll show you the bolt. Oh, it doesn't want to come out, which is good, it's meant to be tight. Because it has a square on the bottom there. It's going to come out or not? Nah, it's not going to come out. Right, we're not going to worry about it. I'll show you this way. Get that out of the road. Put that. Right. Take that there. Put that up there as well. Okay, what it has is, take that up and down here as well. Hopefully you won't stand on it. Flip it over. So we have a bolt here. It's got like a rounded head on it, but down in here it's square. So when you hit it into the wood, you drill a nice tight hole for it to hit into, and then when you hit it in, you push the square into the wood and it locks up, therefore it won't turn. So it won't turn, and it works really good on these. I was lucky, I caught the young fellas trying to drill a hole out that I'd done because it was too tight. And I told them that it was meant to be tight, so I was lucky there that they didn't muck it up. Caught them just in time. Alright, so this goes on there. Like so. There we go. And of course it's going to spin like that. But as you can see, they've put their brace in there, sort of in the wrong place. I warned them not to put it in, but you know, they did it anyway. I could avoid that by bringing this further forward, but we won't do that. We'll move that so that we can bring this around further. We'll just see what happens. And of course they've tried to drill this hole out as well. I don't know. They don't follow instructions, eh? Actually, that's a bigger washer. Oh, that'll be alright. It just goes up on there. It goes there. There's a locking nut, and then it just turns. Crescent. I'll have to get a spanner on the bottom of it to tighten it up properly so that it locks up, but that'll do. But you see the wheel comes round and it hits right there, so that's a problem. We'll sort that out. We could just put a block in here to stop it going so far. That's what we might do. Block on each side. Just means it's turning won't be that good. But that's okay. So now what I'll do is I'll go in the other room and I'll make a couple of saddles, they call them. Flat there, over there and down there. So we'll go and do that. And I'll bring you guys in and we'll have a look, eh? Right, here we are. I'm going to show you how I'll make one of these things. I've made one, so here it is here. So as you can see, it's called a saddle, so it goes over there, a little bit short that side, but here it is here. So I wasn't sure if I could get it to work, but that'll be the saddle to go over the piece of metal, which is roughly about that size, and it just fits over there. So we'll get into, and I'll show you how I did it. Put that there, pick up this piece here. And this is just another scrap piece that's been lying around home again. So I just did it in the vise. I need a bit of movement in there, like that. And we just sort of go like that. Get the hammer. Hopefully it won't jump around too much for you guys. But I'll just hit it down in there. Right, so that's it. So now all we have to do is drill a couple of holes. One in there and one in there for a screw. Same on this one. These legs ended up being a little bit close, but it should be alright. One screw on each should be alright. And I don't know whether I might cut that one. Nah, longer the better. One screw on each side. Okay, I'll turn you off while I go and do that. Here we are, we're back. I decided to cut that second one I made, that was too wide, into two. So these, one on there, one on there, and that should screw down and hold that in place. Easily, I would say. Here we go. So we need that drill, which we put up here. A couple of screws, we got that there, that there. Rightio. There we go, that'll do. Look at that. We'll probably tie a piece of string on there, take it back to there, and that'll be the steering. So that's all done. Now what we have to do is move on to the back. Put that up there in case we need it. Put that up there. In that. Okie dokie. So because that hits here, the wheel hits here and it hits here, what we will do, I think I mentioned it before, we'll put a block in here, right across there, and then when we go this way, a block there. So that'll stop the wheels smashing into that. We should be right. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. That's quite good. Right, let's move on to this back section. I'll pop away and get it. Okay, we're back to try and figure out this back. I had a few different things. I was going to try and alter this to make this work. I think it's like too... Nah, it's not good enough. So then what I thought I might do is use this bit of square as the axle. Cut this piece here up so it fits in there. Make it and turn it down. But as you can see, it's a little bit short of the mark. So I managed to go into my shed and I found this longer piece. So we'll probably, it's a bit rusty, but we'll clean it up and we'll cut it down to length and we'll make something to go in there for the axle, for the wheel to spin on. This here actually fits inside this wheel here, sort of, a little bit of work. But my main problem with the wheels, these wheels, is that they had a bearing in there. That's alright. Had a bearing in there, and if you remember, it's all seized. So I couldn't get them unfree. It's nearly free, but it's a bit dodgy. I don't know if I should keep trying or not. It's a little bit dodgy. So what I thought I would do is leave that and turn that as leave that as a bush, and then turn down a little bit of brass which I found here. These make good bearing, but so if I turn that down to go inside there, right the way through, so it goes in, then that will be what the axle will spin on. It'll spin on this rather than the plastic. So I think that's what we might do. We might turn this down to fit in there, I reckon. I think that might be the way to go. Yep. And then we'll turn the axle down to fit inside this with a thread on it, just like the front one. Seems a lot of work, but I can't free these bearings up. If I could free the bearing up, then I would probably just do a straight through bolt. But I've got that bearing there, and the other one here, they just don't want to free up. So I think I'll just treat them as a bush. I think that's going to be the way to go. Treat them as a bush. We'll put them in there. And then we'll make another one to go inside that, I would say. So we're going to make a piece of brass that'll fit inside that. 2 of them. They don't have to be very long by the look of it. Push them in that way, stick it out there. Then cut an axle down to go on here. So we just cut that in half and we'll turn that down and leave a bit of a shoulder on there so that the wheel can butt up into there. So we've got to turn that down to 12mm and then turn it down to 8 to put a bolt on the end of it, a nut. So we'll have to find a nut for it. Okie doke. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. That'll be absolutely perfect. Okay, so that's one done. We just got to make the other one identical. So I'll get onto that. I'll turn you off and I'll get back to you when we're about to finish the axle. I've welded up the axles onto the other piece. Just move this a bit closer. And now what I'm going to do is these wheels at the front here don't turn. They turn and then they hit that. So this is probably in the wrong place. So what I'll do is I'll take this off. There's like heaps of screws in it. They put way too many screws in it. So I'll get this off. Leaping lizards, boys. Way too many screws. I think you just like screwing screws into wood. Right, with that off. Bring this forward. Get that coming around to about there. I think would be a good thing. That coming around to about there, we could probably mount that back to there. Yeah. So I've got the wee block in there, and it stops there. Stops there. So what we'll do is we'll borrow a couple of screws from that other thing they had in there. And we'll use them to put this in place. Hopefully it won't strip out. We have the axle. Right, here we go. So it goes up that way. Take that off. Right, this will fit on here like this. Bits of weld to make it a bit wobbly dobbly, but that'll be right, it'll clamp down. We'll get it to work. Okay. Alright. I've got some longer screws for that. We need to put the wheels on first so we get it in the right place. That looks pretty good. Right, we're almost done. Put that back. Oh yeah, now we're up to oh, I didn't put that away. Right, now we're up to doing that footrest thing again. Hey, so we'll have to go to the square drive because all those screws are square drive, and I don't think we need that many screws in it. So we shall rotate it. Let's see what we got. So that'll change there. That's good. If we put that there, then there's a double precaution. They put their feet there. He's not a very big fella, so that should be alright. think that should be enough, so that's that there. Now we've got to put a backrest on it, which I have here. I changed it because I didn't like the way he was doing the other one, so we put this in. So this will go here like that, and that'll just sit there like that. And that's his backrest. I actually don't think that's on. I thought it would be on more of an angle, but it's not. So we can fix that easy enough. Right, we've got a piece of wood in here. I don't know if you can see it, but that'll be right. Which doesn't allow this to go back. Oh, see, that's too much. I had it there. And I don't think it's nowhere near good enough. Right, we'll change that. Anyway, it's got a nice backrest. Got somewhere to stick his feet. Now all we have to do is put a rope through there. Good old-fashioned pushcart. Can have hours of fun on something as simple as that. And that's long enough for him to just do whatever he has to do. I reckon that's it. She's done. There you go, Adam. All finished. I'll bring it to school on Monday and you can take it home. Yep, that looks pretty good. Think it'll steer. Alright, grab that. Yep, it's there. Perfect. Done deal. Right, that's it. Hope you'll like it, Adam. You've done a lot of the work yourself, you and Jack Curran. So I'll just sign off now. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Catch you next time.